Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Dock Talk West Virginia. I am your host, Shane Rains, and of course, this week's weekly recap, we will be covering local news, results, of course, upcoming tournaments, and more, so stay tuned. And come check y'all out.
Well, we're one of my favorite places. Conversation with one of the greats and what this office. And I'm Shane Rains. I'll talk with him.
So, fall transit.
Ticket. Hopefully, this goes on a replica out of that 20. Come to your live coverage.
At 8 pounds with the current right up there.
See how it shakes out.
That's it. All right, what's going on, everyone? It is Friday. It is 9/11/2020. Here we are 19 years later. Honestly, I debated about even filming a weekly recap today. Honestly, 9/11 is a lot of different things for each person out there. I know for me, just like a lot of you, most of us, how could you not forget something so devastating that rocked our country like it did 19 years ago? So definitely our thoughts and prayers are with the entire country right now. It is definitely a time to come together. But this is your weekly recap episode. Decided to go and hop on here. This is our passion. This is what kind of keeps us sane. So we're not going to miss a beat. And we're going to cover all this latest news, latest action in and around West Virginia when it comes to bass fishing and tournament fishing. So, like I said, if this is your first time here, my name is Shane Rains. I am the host right here on Dock Talk West Virginia. And, of course, you can find us at a lot of different places right here on Facebook at Dock Talk WV. And, of course, on YouTube channel at Dock Talk West Virginia. So, like I said, really pumped up to be on here today. I actually kind of go over a few things. It's been a couple weeks since we had a weekly recap episode. But a quick shout out for everyone that shared the giveaway, the 2K giveaway. Just a quick reminder to everyone out there. We're just going to throw this up. Of course, that is a 2K giveaway, 2,000 page like giveaway. Got some awesome prizes just to give out at random. All you have to do, of course, is find that original post on Dock Talk West Virginia Facebook page. Could be lucky enough to get something from one of these awesome supporters, sponsors of this giveaway. Of course, Rich Runner Rods, Dwight Walls does a phenomenal job building custom built rods, repair work in and around the valley, ships them all over the country, does phenomenal work. Of course, JT's Custom Jigs, Jason Turner, right here in Buchanan area of West Virginia, offering all kinds of wonderful custom baits, crankbaits, spinnerbaits, jigs, buzz baits, you name it. Elevation Sports in Beckley for all your outdoor needs, kayak fishing, any kind of hobbies. They've got a little bit of everything for everyone. Bass Nation of West Virginia. Of course, we're heavily involved with the youth in Bass Nation of West Virginia. Of course, they gave some awesome giveaways to give out, and also Great Outdoors Marina, Lavalette, West Virginia. 2021s are hitting the doors, so definitely want to get in on this giveaway. Awesome prizes coming from these awesome folks. So just a quick update. But thank you to everyone that kind of shared that out there over the last week. We did a little push. We're just under 400 likes to be able to go and get this giveaway going. So I'm excited to obviously get that out there, offer it up for everybody, and give some stuff away very, very soon. So some local news. Let's talk about what's been going on in and around West Virginia as far as local news. If you haven't seen, Big Elk River Kayak launch, river access, public access project has started. They're breaking ground. They're working on those areas, regularly, daily, trying to get these access sites done. Clendenin area, north and the south. I believe Blue Creek. You've got in and around Coonskin. $2 million+ project the DNR is working on. So excited to see that wrap up. Any extra access to our rivers and our waters to where people can get out and enjoy. Obviously, we all benefit from that. We each have our own input. I know we'd like to see the money thrown towards bass fishing, but in general, you bring in more people to the area, that can only mean good things. So excited to kind of see how all that shakes out for, like I said, Elk River, the lower Elk towards Charleston. So they're trying to do some upgrades. Of course, Hawks Nest Lake has been drained down 25 foot. First time in, I believe, 80+ years that they've inspected the tunnel and the hydro plant area. So if you haven't seen the pictures, scroll around on Facebook, shoot me a message. I'll get you a link to some of these pictures. Unbelievable. There's some major concerns from a lot of locals, from people that use that water. You see all the silt build up in these photos. It's mind-blowing. We know it's down there, but tons of silt. The water's looking pretty nasty. That's kind of getting sucked out of there. But it's a whole different animal up there right now. Looks totally different than what it normally does with all that water in it. But kind of interested to see what some of the reports are as this does drain completely down that 25 foot. Won't really be able to access the water anyway. There's, like I said, some pictures. Thick silt. It'd be almost impossible to kind of navigate down to get to the water. But kind of interested to see what comes of this. What impact on the fishery will it make? I spent quite a bit of time up there, not as much last year and this year as I would like, but I'm interested to see how that's going to change the actual fishery. Hopefully not in a negative way. We're going to find out. But what's been happening around the tournament trails in the state? Mainly club tournaments last couple weekends. There have been a few bigger events, but a lot of clubs are wrapping up their season-ending championships. A lot of folks are preparing for the state qualifiers, heading to the state tournament, and a lot of things going on. Like I said, fall is ramping up. Temps are cooling off. Nighttime temps are cooling off. We're starting to get into the fall drawdown. Summersville Lake drawdown started today, I believe 7 o'clock this morning. Of course, Golly season is here. Whitewater season's here. It's going to be a lot of people in and around Summersville area. Of course, celebrating our rivers, and that is exciting. Of course, that's a lot of money coming into our state, so that's always a great thing. But of course, with the fall drawdown, we know that does make the bite a little tougher. At times through those periods of drawdown, a lot of times Summersville will turn on. We're going to find out at the Trail of Dreams tournament series, big event they have in September 19th, so next weekend. So like I said, a lot of these other lakes will start their drawdown very soon as well. And we're going to see these. They're trying to get them prepared, drop them down to winter pool. Everyone's taking out the pleasure boats. I know that'll make the lakes a little less busy, but hopefully folks still get out there and enjoy it while they can. But night tournaments are wrapping up. I believe this is the last Summersville night tournament tonight. I believe Sutton's pretty well wrapped up Thursday. I know they had their big 2-night championship there just the other weekend. Lots of water moving in through our area over last week. It really shook up the water for last weekend's tournaments. There wasn't a whole lot going on, but just a couple of the tournaments that did happen this last weekend. Bass Nation of West Virginia held their Northern Open up on the Mon River. Of course, that was on Saturday. The youth tournament, hopefully you caught that live coverage or even the interview with the winners this last weekend as well. So got some awesome content you can go back and watch. But like I said, Bass Nation, West Virginia, the Northern for the adults, crazy tough fishing. 4th place, Ed and Logan Powell. They have been on a roll this year, way up in points over on the Ohio River for a couple different trails. Ohio River challenged the tour. I believe they were leading it or right up top, but they weighed 492 for a 4th place finish. 3rd place, no stranger to the Mon River, knows it well, fishes it well. J.C. Christopher and John Christopher weighed $4.99. Second place, Dustin Holland, Brian Short, $6.56, which was a great bag with a lunker, a 404 lunker. But first place team, Alan Fluharty, Chad Brandiger, weighed $7.26. We actually saw them while pre-fishing on the river. They were spot hopping, bouncing around, covering water. So congrats to Alan and Chad. Those two guys fish very, very well together. A lot of success over the years fishing as a team. So congrats to those guys. And I believe I think they had enough entries to possibly pay out maybe free Buddy Trail entries. I have to double check on that, but I know they do award those out to the winners if they reach a certain amount. So, but nonetheless, congrats to those folks. But here is the kicker. If you didn't watch a live coverage of the high school and junior Bass Nation of West Virginia trail stop number 1 on the Mon, which was on Sunday, they followed them up. Very tough fishing for a lot of teams pre-fishing. But nonetheless, always it seems like these junior and high school kids just catch fish. They actually, the winning team, when we'll get to that, actually it bested the adult total weight for the day before. So that's always kind of fun to see how all that shakes up when you have the adults fish. Of course, conditions change, and it was a lot different, cleared up quite a bit for Sunday. But high school division, actually, start with the junior division. Third place, Isaac Cooper, Ethan Holcomb, $2.46 for third place finish. This is these boys' first season, I believe, first trail tournament. So congrats to those guys. Second place, Luke Stewart, Austin Craze. Of course, they just got back from the TBF, the Junior World Finals from up north there not too long ago. Actually, I think they were over in Ohio. I'm sorry. Yeah. So Luke and Austin, a great finish, 356, second place. In first place, Bo Holland, Ari Clark, 454 for the win. These boys back-to-back Bass Nation, actually going to nationals, represent Bass Nation. Awesome to see. Up-and-coming anglers, very young and can absolutely hammer fish. They work really, really hard. So that's awesome to see them boys do well. Also, High River Bite's picking up. Actually, before I jump into the High River Bite, because I do have a little bit of a report on that, let me jump to the high school. I almost forgot the high school results. But the high school results from the Mon River Bass Nation, West Virginia. Third place, Riley Hendricks, Wesley Allen, weighed 512 for a third place. Second place, Braden Morris, Aiden Harbert, a couple St. Albans boys, 597. First place, I hope you listen to the interview. If you haven't, go back, Unscripted Live with Bailey McKinney, Avery Walters, 848 for the win. These two young men in that interview definitely gives us great hopes for the future of bass fishing, the future of their fishing career. So they've got some things figured out. That's always exciting to see. Go back and check that out. But on to the High River. The bite's picking up. Have had some reports for some guys up that way. It's consistently taken in that 7 to 9 pound range to compete. 10-plus pound bags are winning it. So I got some pictures of some big smallmouth. Brad Burgess sent me a picture, and man, they've been eating well. Those fish are fattened up. They look very, very healthy. So looking back at some of our discussions earlier this year, just a month or so ago, with a lot of the High River guys talking about the fishery, being able to see those smallmouth still showing up gives us some hope. Of course, we definitely know that there's some help needed, and we'll get there with the help of all of us in the tournament community. But that's great to hear. I'll definitely fill you in. Like I said, a couple of tours got a few last stops left before they get to their championships. So High River Buddy Trail. The Suitors won with 10-plus pounds, like a 1042 last tournament out of Powhatan. So I'll update you here in the next week or so before their next event, give you an update on their point standings. They give out tons of entries for next year's trail, depending on AOY race and where you fall in points. So that's going to be really fun to see how that shakes out. But upcoming tournaments, let's jump into a couple upcoming tournaments, give you a few options for this coming weekend. This Saturday, here's your options. I kind of picked out a few. Can't cover them all, of course. Some club tournaments that I know are just private for the club members only, but some open tournaments if you're looking for a tournament. This Saturday, so tomorrow, Liberty Raiders fishing team having a benefit tournament, Bluestone Lake, running 7 to 3. They have some awesome anglers moving up through their junior and high school ranks on the fishing team that do go and travel and compete. This all, of course, goes to a great cause, but also a great payout as well. $100 a boat, and like I said, helps fund their team. So get out. If you're up in the or down in the southern West Virginia area around Bluestone, want to catch a tournament, water ought to be looking really nice for tomorrow. Logan Shrine Club, finally, they did get to reschedule this tournament. They are squeezing it in finally for Eastland tomorrow. $110 a boat, 7 to 4. Like I said, Logan Shrine Club supports the local community in so many ways. They do so much for the kids, and this is a huge part of their fundraising efforts. This tournament has grown over the last few years, and I know Dave Jeffrey and Mick Basin relays this information to me. I know the amount of work that they put in to make this a huge success, and they are, like I said, being able to work this in for this year. So Eastland, and that is tomorrow. So get out and support this tournament if you're looking for a tournament down that way. Of course, Bass Sportsman has a 2-day event on Stonewall. Good buddy Brad West, president of Hockey River Bassmasters, they do have their fall open tournament out of Belpre. That is tomorrow. You can register at the ramp. That's the only way they're going to register. Starts at 5:30, so you can register at 5:30. $80 a boat, running 7 to 3 out of Belpre. Wonderful opportunity. This club's been around for many, many years. Brad does a great job. They always have folks in contention when it comes to the state qualifier and state tournament. Of course, Brad himself has been on a state team as well. So they run a great tournament out of Belpre, and he's excited to be able to work this in as well. So get out, Belpre on the Ohio River tomorrow. Southern West Virginia Kayak Anglers, this is their last online tournament before they head into their championship. So there are AOY points on the line for this event. We'll see how that changes some things going into the final tournament, give you an update before their championship. West Virginia Kayak Anglers and Summers County Kayak Bass Anglers, 2-day championship, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's on the New River and Bluestone. Sunday, Greenbrier River and Bluestone. This is going to be a good one. They have a huge member base that's going to be fishing this event. If you want some more info on this event, you can always reach out to either one of them, but going to be a great event. New River, Greenbrier Rivers put up big numbers this time of year. Water's cooling off, smallmouth turn on. So I expect some awesome things. You got a lot of locals up that way, so that's going to be interesting to see. Sunday events, if you're looking for a tournament on Sunday. Kanawha River Bass Club, they have 3 or 4 tournaments left. They are open tournaments on the Kanawha River. Very few tournaments on the Kanawha, minus a state qualifier coming up later and a couple kayak tournaments. But Kanawha River Bass Club this Sunday, $40 a boat, safe light to 2 p.m. So not too long of a tournament. Get on and off the water. And like I said, great group of folks. Love fishing with these guys down that way. They always get a great turnout, and they do a really, really good job too. So hop on out. Also, Marshall University Open Bass Trail. I've had the guys on the show. Of course, Evan and the guys were on just the other day, Evan and Chase, talking about their qualifying. Of course, winning the state championship, moving on to the nationals. But they are back in action for their trail this weekend, Sunday, Summersville Lake. Of course, that is $125 a boat. Small portion, of course, goes to help support the club. And they will be traveling to the national championship coming up in October. So let's get out and support this. This should be a great tournament leading up. Maybe you're pre-fishing for the Trail of Dreams tournament next weekend. Great opportunity to get up and support these guys too. And, of course, the added bonus, how do you get into the Marshall Cup, the big cup event at the end of the year? You have to fish one of the 3 remaining tournaments. I think they were only able to get 4 tournaments in this year, 4 or 5, counting these that they have coming up. So if you fish one, you're eligible to fish the cup. So get out, jump on one of these last events. Like I said, Summersville Sunday. So that pretty much wraps up your options for this coming weekend, unless you are traveling out of state. We have quite a few anglers heading up to I think 2 or 3 anglers heading to the Hobie BOS event. I believe they're on Dardanelle in Arkansas, I believe. So Jody Queen was right up in AOY. He's going to try to make a run for AOY, and of course, hopefully, potentially make a run at the TOT Tournament Champions for Hobie. Of course, he is your 2019 champion for the first ever TOC for Hobie. So a lot of guys traveling around. We got some anglers at some BFLs, I believe, maybe some opens. shout out to those guys. You can follow along, of course, on FLW and BASS too for any events for their live streams. But so shout out to everyone fishing this weekend. But what to watch out for over the coming weekends: Bass Nation of West Virginia state qualifiers. You have West Virginia Bass Federation state qualifiers. You have the new kayak state qualifier for Bass Nation of West Virginia. Of course, Tim, is the director, and myself, assistant director. We're having some folks join kind of last minute to be able to fish a qualifier. If you are interested, please reach out quickly. Try to find a club willing to take you in to be able to fish one of the 3 regional qualifiers to try to qualify for the first ever state championship Bass Nation of West Virginia on the kayak side. So super cool. Working on lining out some cool unscripted episodes. Got a few interviews lined out. Not real sure who we're going to have on this weekend. This is actually a kind of an open weekend for me. Got a little bit of planning for some really exciting things coming up for next weekend. Been working on with a few buddies, so we'll hope to release that information very, very soon leading into next weekend. I'm very confident you are going to like what's coming up. But like I said, most of all, it pretty much wraps up everything going on for this weekend. Again, my name is Shane Raines right here at Dog Talk West Virginia, covering everything bass fishing in and around West Virginia. And, of course, your tournament results, recaps, interviews, tips and tricks, and more. We try to cover a little bit of everything. But I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe on the water. Quick reminder, of course, for the giveaway. That is the 2K giveaway paid for page likes on Dog Talk West Virginia Facebook page. All these awesome prizes from these amazing sponsors. So just another quick shout out to them for making that possible. So get out, enjoy the water, shoot me some fish pictures from the weekend. Give me some updates on some of the water conditions we have going on, and we'll definitely share that with the rest of the tournament and angling community. But until next time, you know what I always say, we will see you on the water. You all have a wonderful weekend.